Bob Alvis, Will Castle, Scott Wilson, Chew on This, recorded Thursday, 12th of January 2012. We discussed some Major League Baseball talk. Who should be in the Hall of Fame that's eligible, who should not, what's going to happen next year when Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds become eligible for the first time. We also talked sports movies. What would you like to see remade off of a live event? We've already had Miracle, Remember the Titans, things of that sort. What event do you want to see made into a sports movie? We talk about that and more on Chew on This on the Sports Buffet podcast.
An accelerated edition of Chew on This. Well, I'll talk very fast so we can get this over with. Bob Alvis, Scott Wilson, Will Castle.
Such a smart ass.
Now we slow it down a little bit.
You could watch. Well,
yeah, we might have commentary, by the way, folks. Virginia and Duke are playing as we
Bob might revert to his play-by-play.
Yeah, I think that's illegal. But if you hear what is he doing, Scott is not talking about Will or I. He's probably talking about something on the game. Or if Will just cusses, he's just being himself.
Yep.
Major League Baseball. I didn't. And by the way, when I put Will study, I didn't mean I'll study.
Oh no, I
meant you study.
I'm fully aware of what you meant by that. Subtlety, duly noted.
Major League Baseball. Who should be elected to the Hall of Fame that isn't in and that's eligible?
I had a name that stood out right away. Pete Rose.
Not eligible.
Well, he should be eligible.
Well, okay.
We'll bend the rules for this.
Okay.
Were you trying to exclude him specifically by including that?
Well, I was just.
I thought by that's eligible you meant like had been out for 5 years.
No. I was putting more of like who can actually be voted in by the.
Well, I think
writers.
he still could be voted in.
I think they
could change the rules.
Yeah. Well, it relies on Bud Selig.
Bud Selig's going to die eventually.
Offer him a contract extension.
Before Pete Rose, probably.
Yeah. I don't know. Pete gambles a little bit more, so those hearts go up. By the way,
don't you think though that Pete Rose, what he did when you compare it to the whole steroid era, he's looking a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think he's still.
The whole thing is.
Yeah, I think you would have to. I think your best answer is going to come from the veterans, though, on that.
Yeah.
In terms of what do they view worse, gambling or cheating?
Here's the thing, but it's like everything he did as a player, he didn't gamble as a player. Did it as a manager, and believe him on his word that he only bet for the Reds.
Okay, are you a fan of Bob Costas?
At times.
Oh yeah.
Okay, glad Kyle's not here. Anyway,
yes, Kyle's not.
Not really.
Okay.
But, Bob Costas made a few... They've talked about this, Of course, Costas being the baseball guy has talked about this hundreds of times. If you didn't bet on the Reds, is that like a bet against the Reds, for one? And if you... These are just conversational starters here. Or if you bet on the Reds, do you extend the pitching or manage the game differently that night? Discuss.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the mindset, whether he can separate that from what he's doing,
But if he says he never bet against the Reds and bet for them, well, your goal as a manager is to try to win every game.
Right.
So how would that really...
What if he didn't bet on them on a Friday night in July when they're going to Shea? Is that a bet against? You see where I'm going?
I see where you're going.
Well, more. Do you see where Bob Costas is going? I don't know. I'm just bringing up discussion topics here.
I think you almost have to break it down to a game-by-game type thing.
Well, point is, too, Pete Rose is not getting in the Hall of Fame anytime in the near future.
Give us a name, then.
Jack Morris.
Yeah.
Jack Morris and Tim Raines are my two big
Jack
ones.
Morris is a little bit, stung in my memory.
Right.
But.
Well, postseason success, and even without it, he still has some good numbers. I don't have them in front of me. And then, Tim Raines, to me, was almost the National League version of Ricky Henderson, to a lesser degree. He didn't steal as many bases, but he stole a lot of bases, and I thought was, pretty good. My other one would be Fred McGriff.
Crime Dog.
Because of the era,
Crime Dog.
Because of the era McGriff played in, he's got 493 career home runs, and he has never been linked anything steroid related that I've ever heard. His batting average is not as good, but his home run RBIs numbers, and I mean his batting average is not bad. I think he's like a 280 career hitter, and he never had a dog of a postseason. So, but Fred McGriff, to his downfall, never played in a big market too, which I think hurts him.
Yeah, I saw a website that listed like each person like at this position who's the most biggest snub, and they had Reigns on there. The one that I wrote down that you'll probably say that he's not eligible either, but has been portrayed in Field of Dreams, and I think you know where I'm going.
Joe Jack?
Yes.
Moonlight Graham.
Hey, I would be all for putting Burt Lancaster in the Baseball Hall of Fame. but I don't know.
You know,
They say there's no like conclusive proof that he was involved in the whole Black Sox scandal.
Ray Liotta played him, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yes, very good.
Good movie.
I think was it D.B. Sweeney played him in 8 Men Out. I think.
Who? Joe?
Yeah.
I've never seen 8 Men Out.
Was it not
honestly.
Cusack?
Was it Cusack?
Wasn't Ray Liotta also in 8 Men Out though?
Was it?
I don't know.
haven't seen 8 Men Out either. So.
Yeah.
Would you have a name? Sorry.
What about Bagwell?
Yeah.
Is he eligible yet?
I think
Yeah,
next.
because he got 321 votes.
Oh, okay.
This
this
was
year.
maybe his first year, because I think
Yeah.
Biggio is eligible next year.
Yeah, I think he probably gets in on the first. No connection ever to use with steroids.
Yeah, Biggio's eligible to 2013.
Is Bagwell? Does Bagwell have any doubt in there?
I think I've heard some a
Teammate
little
of
bit.
Mr.
I mean,
Caminiti?
he was the first baseman, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he was a juicer.
Right.
I mean,
I always loved his batting stance, where he looked like he was sitting on a chair.
But I mean, I don't think he's got the damning evidence like
yeah. Well, it also helped the fact that he played in Houston.
the guys from last year. So, wow, Liberty Radford. Who can win a Big South game, folks?
Hey, 16 seconds left.
Score?
Liberty by 2?
Wow.
Well, who knows? Because I know the woman that does the bug, so God knows if that score's right.
How about out of the first timers next year? McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, Clemens, Piazza,
Schilling.
I'd say no to the first four names.
The
that you
point
mentioned.
was more of, do guys like this ever get in?
I'm inclined to say no.
Well,
Although never
was Piazza linked to Royce?
No, I said
I think Piazza has
Piazza's
been.
not.
I think Piazza's he's got a cloud,
Really?
too, I think.
I mean, besides being kind of a jackass.
I think
It's kind of funny that he and Clemens are on the same club.
Yeah, I think he's got a cloud. Well, they're not both going in together, so I wouldn't worry about that.
They can share a bat.
The thing about it is this, in my opinion, with Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds, I think they are both Hall of Famers before any accusations of steroids even hit the books. In my opinion, if you stop their career before they were accused, I think they're both in the Hall of Fame.
I got no problem with Clemens.
Bonds?
Is it different for pitchers than here? I mean, I didn't think maybe.
I mean,
In what way? Is it harder for a pitcher to
What
get
do
in
you
over a hitter?
quantify a pitcher steroids impacting? Pitchers, you can say home runs.
But see, to me, you've still got to get the bat around quick enough. And the steroids
Did it
really...
make you throw 5 miles an hour faster than
I think
before?
with pitchers, I think what I hear most times a lot of the pitchers is for getting healthier quicker.
Yeah, well, that was Pettit because Pettit used the HGH.
Yeah.
And the HGH builds you up quicker.
I was wondering how long you're going to stay in that.
The HGH builds you up quicker to recover
Yeah.
than the steroids do. Wow, that's a dunk by Duke, folks. 5-2. That's the thing about the pitchers. I mean, but it used to be for the hitters 500
Yeah.
home runs would get you in. For pitchers, I don't think anybody that doesn't have 300 wins isn't in.
And yeah.
Rogers got 300 wins. Barry's got 500 home runs. Something's going to give here pretty soon. Although I'm sure there are some other guys eligible.
McGuire's got 500 home runs.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some other guys eligible with the 500.
Sosa too.
I think this was his first year.
No, Sosa's first year is next year.
Okay, well he ain't getting it.
McGuire's been. This is like his second or third year, I think.
And I mean, the thing that gets me is there's never been a unanimous Hall of Famer. To me, that's just absolutely absurd. I mean, who said Willie Mays doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's one of those. I think because chances are someone's like, you know what? I know everyone's going to vote for this guy. Let me throw a vote to another guy, maybe hoping that he gets lucky.
There's no number. You can vote for as many people as you want.
Really?
Yep.
I thought you had like.
It's not football.
Oh.
Football's got the number.
But there might be some people out there that are like against voting people in on their first time on the ballot.
Yeah, I think there are people out there that send back blank ballots, which I think you should have your voting revoked. I mean, I understand that I can't tell anyone else how to vote.
What do they just draw a middle finger and then send it
I don't
back
know. Maybe they just reseal the envelope, like just open it. Oh, all the names are here. Put it back in.
It's like some 9-year-old man that can barely walk to his mailbox.
Say return to sender. I don't know, but I just think it's there are some guys that I think should be shoo-ins for the Hall of Fame, and wow, Virginia up 9-8. And I think the next guy that's eligible that I think should be going in with a very high percentage is Frank Thomas.
The Big Hurt?
Yep.
When is that?
Does he have any link?
No, not that I've ever heard.
Because he's a big guy.
Not that I've ever heard. I think
he's always been a big guy.
Yeah, I think he started off that way, and I think when he was born, he weighed 40 pounds. But I think
Thomas is available in 2014.
So, a couple years away.
Dropping the knowledge. He did stuff.
I like it.
I printed.
Well, hey, that's more than what I did. So, today I moved a ton of baseball cards at my dad's house. Is there anything you think in sports right now that people are fans of, or is a fad that will go the way of the baseball cards, which is the way of the dodo? In my opinion,
I had to think about that for a while, and I got one that it's on that slight level, and that's autographs.
That's what I was thinking of too.
In terms of, it's too easy to nowadays get autographs of a player, because especially a player that say just got retired, a card company brings them in, pays them $10,000 to sit there, and just sign. It just keeps signing, keeps signing, and
like they pay him more than $10,000.
Well, depending on how long they've been out of the
When Mickey Mantle got his deal with Upper Deck, they paid him X million. I mean, it was a great amount of money.
Yeah. The one thing.
Are you an autograph fan?
I'm seeing if I had my Bob Feller baseball.
I
don't.
If we get autographs,
you're not gonna, but you want to actually get it. You don't want to send away for something.
No.
Yeah, because, see, that's my thing. Even with the certificate of authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be very questionable.
Right.
About
or if somebody says, "Hey, I got this for you," and my mom got me a Big Ben autograph, and she saw him sign it.
Yeah.
So
but the reason that the old baseball cards are still worth something is because there's not a lot of them there,
right?
And just like anything you collect, the more rare they are, the more valuable they are. Cards are just one of those things. And autographs, I think, back in the day, were a lot harder to get. Now it's very easy. So, I think it's autographs at this point. I think are more sentimental than anything else.
The only thing I could really think of, because I really had this was not a question to where I had something in mind that everybody was going to say, but the one thing that I thought of was, would it be fantasy sports? I mean, gambling ain't going away.
No, I was almost thinking maybe that.
Well, I don't know what else there is. See, that's my problem.
Of what that goes away?
Yeah, like something that's I mean, I'm not talking about abolishing a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be something like tailgating. I mean, I don't see tailgating going away. I mean, what goes away?
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I mean, I think we are at the near precipice of the height of fantasy sports popularity, and it might eventually go down. I think it's got some long legs,
Right.
though.
I think whenever if anything involves gambling, I don't feel like that's going to go away anytime.
Well, and I think fantasy sports keeps the casual fan
Yes.
interested.
Yes.
To where they're not going to have any interest any other way. I mean, I don't know if Beanie Babies were ever really a big enough deal. Maybe bobbleheads. But I think that's a specialized type crowd you're dealing with. But that was an interesting question. I mean, it's just so depressing having a ton of baseball cards nowadays. Even from like the 90s or the 80s, just because they're not worth near of what they used to be. So,
But here's the thing: in 50 years, chances are those baseball cards could be back to worth something because people realize, oh man, everyone has them. I'm not going to bother collecting them. And then again, that's cyclical.
Plus, people love old stuff.
Yeah.
So, sporting event or situation that you could see a movie being made off of, like they made a We Are Marshall, made a Miracle. I don't know. Did we discuss this kind of?
No, I think we talked about sports movies itself.
Like what was the? We talked about something being we talked about remakes.
Yeah.
I had something that I think will be good that wouldn't have a happy ending, but it had almost a Hollywood ending.
I got one that doesn't have a Hollywood ending, but
okay.
Go first.
The Butler Bulldogs and their run and their missed shot against Duke at the very end. That's almost got Hoosiers written all over it, except not winning at the end.
Except the black team won.
I don't think a movie has to, have that shot made at the
Well,
very end.
and just, have you seen Moneyball?
Not yet, but I'm going to soon.
Watch it. It's good.
Well, I know that the Oakland A's don't win the World Series.
Yeah,
so.
but it's just one of those things. It's you kind of like, oh yeah, they did.
Did you by any chance either one of you see that thing they aired on ESPN or ESPN2 News Classic over the holidays? Rick Riley's Stories of Inspiration.
No.
Okay, they did this one, and this was a high school team where the kid made the buzzer beater, then had a heart attack and died.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That's something.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, again, not a happy ending, but the team did go on, and they made it to the regional final game before losing.
They made a TV movie of the Hank Gather stories.
Yeah. They made a TV movie of the Jimmy V story.
Yeah.
I also
remember who played Jimmy V?
Yes. I'm spacing it. No, it's here. Anthony LaPaglia.
Very good.
Yeah. Whew, yeah.
I'll tell you, him missing a TV question is like...
Well, he didn't, so...
I know, I'm just saying, him missing a TV question or having trouble with it's like most people missing air and oxygen.
One, that could, and I don't, anything I say here, maybe it was done as a TV movie or something, but I don't remember it as, say, a motion picture, but Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs.
Cool. Tiger Woods story? They've actually done that, too.
The Tiger Woods?
Yeah, they haven't had the... maybe we can do the Tiger Woods story the afterward now. Maybe it's...
That'll be a Lifetime movie.
10 o'clock Cinemax movie. Maybe. Anything else you can think of?
I think they make a remake or sequel to Rudy called Tebow. Coach, let me in the game. Let me in the game.
Then they had the Alabama football story, which Junction Boys, when ESPN was in their movies. Earnhardt, I would say that would be a movie if they...
It's already been done.
Yeah, 3, wasn't it?
3.
Yeah, so I mean,
Barry Pepper.
Yeah, that was not... I didn't think it was very...
What's your favorite ESPN movie? I don't know that I've even watched any of them. Because they had the Junction Boys and Season on the Brink.
With Brian Dennehy as Bobby Dennehy. That one was okay.
Have they done any more?
I want to say they did... I think that Jimmy V was the first one they did, and then
that wasn't theirs. Huh.
No, that was CBS.
Yep.
Was Season of the Brink the first movie they did?
I thought Junction Boys was the first one they did.
No, I thought Season of the Brink was first.
Maybe it was.
But which I thought was okay. Junction Boys was. just okay for me.
I liked as far as those. I liked the 61. I know it was an ESPN.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
61 was
That
so
was HBO.
good.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Billy Crystal had his hands on that.
Yeah.
That's why I like,
Again, very clever.
it was.
Yeah.
I think anytime.
So at first, like, Bear Bear going to play every.
Well, I mean, does it make him? If you were a director, would you direct the Tom Landry story better than I would, or better than a non-Cowboys fan would? You get where I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. I think if you have knowledge or passion for it, I
Right.
think it turns out better.
Because Billy Crystal,
Yeah, but
big
then you might
Yankees
be
fan.
a little too biased towards one point of view.
Maybe, but
But I mean,
You
Billy
know.
Crystal, big Mantle fan, and Mantle was portrayed as Mantle was in '61. I mean, he
Yeah.
wasn't portrayed to be
yeah,
some saintly figure.
Maybe that's why. Well, I don't know how long he had in the works, but that's why he might have waited till after he passed.
No, I think it was in the works before. I think Mantle. I mean, Mickey Mantle never denied, "Hey, I got drunk 100 times." No, I only got drunk 5.
but
You know
I mean,
what
didn't Mantle die before McGuire beat him past him?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because that movie was done after.
Mantle died in '95.
Because that movie was done after
Right.
McGuire hit that.
Roger Maris's not in the Hall of Fame, by the way, and his numbers are
Yeah, I never understood
decent
that.
enough to be there. But I mean, and the other thing too is a lot of people complain about Ron Santo. Oh, well, he's having to go in, posthumously. He's going in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry he wasn't alive to see it too, but
His family is.
Mhm.
His family's alive to see.
right?
it.
I mean, Macho Man Randy Savage is not going in WWE Hall of Fame while he's on the earth. But if you go in, you go in.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be great if everybody was alive when they win the Hall of Fame?
Sure.
Sure.
Another one I was thinking of, and I don't know the great history of that particular, but Shot Heard Around the World.
Bonnie Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that actually hasn't
Yeah.
been.
Well, and I was going to say too, any paralyzed athlete, you could make a movie off of. They
There
did
was-
make the Dennis Bird story.
There was also that autistic kid that got into the high school game and she
Yeah,
made
have they
10 three-pointers.
Have they done that yet, or is that in the? Because I heard they were going
I
to.
heard that was kind of in the works.
Because you know who got their hands on that one, right? Magic Johnson.
Oh, really?
Because supposedly he's got he's got probably like 900 businesses anyway, and I think he's got like a
Should Magic Johnson be dead?
should be.
If you want a good laugh, go on awful announcing and listen to him call highlights for a game last night.
Oh,
Really?
God,
Yeah.
Magic Johnson
It
story.
was a Laker game.
I mean, I don't think all these stories have to have happy endings.
No. It's just one of those. I don't know. I mean, you would have to do it in such a way that it could get. But I wouldn't mind seeing a movie done of when Jerry Jones bought Dallas and kicked Landry out, and they
Right.
had to rebuild. But I don't know how interesting you can make that, because even when they sucked, people still hated Dallas.
Right. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
people
it's-
hate Dallas now.
Yeah, what
You
I'm
know.
saying, but it's just one of those, like, when the team is bad, a lot of times you feel bad. I was like, I wanted them to succeed. Like, people still didn't want.
Well, I mean, it's how many people like enjoy 61 really, if you're not. I mean, I'm sure.
It's kind of a niche movie.
All right, Fever
Yeah.
Pitch, for instance. A lot of Yankee fans aren't going to like Fever Pitch, even though it's fictitious, but it's got the truth is based in the movie.
We're talking about that Jimmy Fallon movie.
Yes.
Okay.
The what?
Yes, he's
Jimmy
talking about
Fallon.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's the true parts are in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
That was
the movie's not based on the Red Sox winning the World Series. I
No,
don't
because the
think as
movie
much
was supposed
as-
to be about the fact that the Red Sox always sucked,
right.
and then they just happened to win the World Series
Right.
that year, and the Farrelly brothers like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
Because-
actually, I think it made it easier.
No, but that was not what they wrote. That was not what was supposed to. I mean, it was not. That was not supposed to happen. They knew they were going to take real game stuff, and no one's like,
Right.
"Oh, it's the Red Sox. They're going to lose." Blah blah blah. And it's like, because I always wondered. Because I remember when they won, I remember all of a sudden Fox cameras are showing Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore kissing on. They're like, why are they showing these people kiss? Why are they showing these two actors kissing on the field when it should be on the Red Sox being all happy, happy, joy, joy? And then you find out why.
It's called cross promotion.
Bigger fan of the sports movies that are real, like 61 and stuff like that, or bigger fans of the ESPN 30 for 30s type things.
That's in so many ways that almost feels like an apples and oranges type of deal. I mean, it's still based off.
Because
it's still real.
I don't feel like when I watch a 30
Yes
for
and
30,
no.
I don't feel like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like I'm watching a TV show.
Yeah. Or like a TV show / documentary.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. I was Michael Rappaport was on BS Report, and they were talking about the 30 for 30s.
Right.
And he asked Rappaport which one was his favorite one. And the whole time I'm thinking, as long as you don't say this particular one. Well, like you saw most of them, right?
I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a lot.
Which one do you like the least?
I haven't seen any of the real new ones. Well, I guess they're not really the 30 for 30s anymore, but like
I think they're the next year they're bringing that name back.
okay.
As 30 for 30.
Like I haven't seen the Bardman one.
Oh, without blame or
Yeah,
blame.
I haven't seen the Auburn, Alabama. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Which is my least favorite?
of the 30 for 30s that you saw.
I mean, I think the fantasy baseball one's stupid.
I didn't see that.
Well, I mean, are you looking for me to say one particular?
I remember we discussed like the one I hated most was the Holmes Ali. That one just felt boring to me.
It didn't. I mean, I kind of liked it, but
and Brad was like, that was the best one. Like,
I thought it was sad.
I was like, I just thought it was draggy.
See, I'm the boxing guy.
That's true.
Yeah, but Will is too. To some degree.
No, not really.
Maybe I'm not thinking
That's okay. You're thinking of Kyle. They look alike.
wrestling.
Yes.
There we go.
I mean, which one was your?
That was my
Ali?
least favorite. The ones I saw.
Yours?
I've only seen like 4, so I didn't
least
see any
favorite out
that
of
I
4.
really didn't like.
Okay, what was your favorite?
It's like a 3-way tie for me between the U.
I like the U.
Um,
I don't want now. Let me hold
Miller time.
Wait a minute. Let me say something here real quick.
All right.
I don't like Miami.
Yeah.
I like the U documentary,
Yes.
but I don't like Miami.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Actually,
Yeah, I'll go in that.
yeah.
camp,
And
too.
the only thing is that if anything, it made me hate
Right.
Miami more.
Right.
You know?
I like the Miller time one too.
But the April 7th, 1994,
June 17th,
or June 17th. Yeah. That was so good.
No, he was talking about a different one than he
Yeah.
was. I liked.
What happened on April 7th, 1994?
I like the Fab 5 one too. I know that came later.
I haven't seen that one actually.
I thought it was pretty good.
But see,
June,
fun-
June 17th, 1994. They didn't include my 15th birthday party on there.
Sons of
When I blew out the candles on the cake as OJ just gets that white Bronco. Maybe that's what they should call Tebow.
What, the White Bronco?
Just call him OJ.
Oh.
They have the tie-in loosely.
Did you see that
Yes.
post my brother made?
Yes.
Like, that was, I don't know, he said he got it from a friend. That was
Yeah,
pretty good.
it was good. In my opinion, stealing's okay
Yeah.
in this country as long as you don't do it from my home.
You're credited.
Right,
It's all
yeah, exactly.
I will say that as a whole, I like the HBO's documentaries more than the 30 for 30.
Read my mind. It's going to be my next question. Do you like the 30 for 30s more or the HBO's?
Because there are more memorable HBO sports documentaries that I've watched in the last year.
Well,
year and
I
a
like
half.
the real sports. I like real sports better than E60. I mean, I'll just kind of get that out of the way.
E60 tries so desperately to be
I think
real
it's good.
sports. Yeah,
But it's not.
But the whole thing is that almost everything that you see in E60 is like I should be just watching Sports Center.
Right.
It should, nothing
and
feels
a lot
different.
of the stories they do show on Sports Center. Did you ever watch Inside the NFL when it was on HBO?
Yeah,
So much better on HBO
the Showtime.
than
Yeah.
Showtime. And I mean, part of it's cast, I think, but but
Yeah.
but there have been some of the HBO documentaries I didn't like. Like I didn't think the Duke Carolina documentary was that great.
I never saw that one.
To be honest with you, they
Was
show
that
some of the
the
old.
road for Tobacco Road or
Yeah,
something?
they show some old ones still on there every now and again.
I know enough about Duke Carolina. I don't need to
Right.
watch
Well,
documentary.
I mean, the documentary actually. I like to think I know a lot about Duke and Carolina too, and the documentary just doesn't.
But like the one on Lombardi that they did, I really, really liked a lot.
See, it's weird for me. I mean, the curse and the reverse of the curse of Bambino, I think, were very good.
That was.
And I mean,
so good.
I hate the ending on the reverse of the curse, but I mean, I think, and if really the reverse of the curse is almost the same as the curse, except you
was
kind of get.
they just added like 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, I think they cut some of the part of the curse.
Yeah.
And then just put the older.
But I thought just the curse of
Right.
is better just overall.
Right.
You know?
My favorite part is where the Buckner thing. I like the Buckner thing more than I do the Bucky Dent, just because the people where the guy says and Vince Scully said the Mets are still alive, and he goes. And we were in my living room, and we said, "Yeah, right." And then my brother was dialing the phone.
I remember the one guy said something. He said that he woke his kid up to watch this, and he lost, and the kid started crying. He's like, "Why'd you wake me up for this? You're the worst parent in the world."
And then Dennis Leary, I think after the game, said I went to the bartender and said, "Pour everything on the top shelf in one glass." So, I think that's the best one. I don't know if I've seen the whole Lombardi one.
I haven't seen all the Lombardi ones.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Did they do one on the punch?
Rudy Tom Jonathan?
I read that book. I have it here.
Yeah,
I never saw it.
I thought they said they were going to do one on that. But
I had never heard of that incident until I got the book.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd heard of that incident until I think when the Rockets made the playoff, or were in the championship.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the first time I was like, oh.
HBO to me, they do sports. Obviously I'm the boxing guy, but they do sports, I think, great.
Yeah.
Even when they did that Bob Costas show. Now, Joe Buck Live wasn't the best show they ever did, but when they did On the Record with Bob Costas, and then Costas Now, or whatever, when they, I don't know if you ever saw the one with the documentary they did on the sports media with Buzz Bissinger and the guy from Deadspin.
Well, I remember a real sports story about the Deadspin.
Yeah, I remember the real
Well,
sports story.
they had this town hall about sports media, and they had a couple of them were a couple athletes. How do you respond to playing in big cities?
Yeah.
Then they had one on how the blogosphere had affected sports, and they had the guy from Deadspin, Will Leach, Buzz Bissinger, and they had an athlete on there, and it was just he probably was in the most uncomfortable spot. And I'll have to find that on my DVD collection somewhere, either YouTube it, because that's just awesome. Just because Bissinger just cusses the guy from Deadspin out. So, but yeah, HBO, best real sports piece you've ever seen, or one of the ones you like the most.
Holy God!
Now, are you more of an inspirational guy on that? The tear-jerking type things, or
I can't
Another
go
one
back
you
and
like.
forth.
the Hoyts?
Yeah, the racing, the father and the son.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
They're all so damn good, or not all of them, but so many are so good. I can't think of nothing like.
And it really brings. I don't think real sports is slanted. I
It
think
is in the last 90 seconds.
Well, yeah. But take that story.
When Gumbel gets on his soapbox.
Talks about
The story
plantation
where the
brothers.
baseball player got shot in his driveway.
Yeah, down in Texas.
I don't think that was let's make the the Bel Air Police Department in Texas look like.
I'm not a
racist or
huge fan of profiles. That they did. It's like when they did Jimmy Rollins, I care
Right.
less.
Yeah.
I think it depends greatly on what team they play for.
Yeah.
Because
I think they've done a couple good
Sabathia,
profiles.
it's like okay.
I watched that one. I was like,
Plaxico Burress, I have no sympathy for this guy. Tiki Barber, I have no sympathy for this guy.
They did a profile on I forget, it was one of the announcers.
Uger
They did Jake Glazer too.
I don't think I saw that one.
with the Jake Glazer one.
Yeah, he's training MMA and all that.
And
That's interesting.
I forget. It might have been Herb Street. Because I think
saw that one.
I think they did a profile, or they did a profile on Game Day.
Yeah.
And I thought that I kind of like that behind the scenes.
No, that's something like that's
Right.
fine, but just like just the individual person, like if
Right.
the person's not interesting, whatever. But sometime this year, you're getting a damn Tebow story out of
Right.
Real Sports.
Did you ever see? And this is kind of different, but the year Virginia Tech played USC in DC.
Yeah.
they had the
2004.
game on ESPN or on ESPN.
Oh, they did the behind the
and then they
scenes.
did the game like from the view of the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, that might not have been interesting to you, but I wonder if that was interesting to the layman.
I don't know. It's still interesting to me, just
Right.
because because that was on just such a mega scale to
Right.
games I do. And,
Right.
Like,
I was at the game, so I missed that.
Right. It was pretty. I don't like when ESPN does you can go on the internet and see rim cam,
yeah.
or that does nothing. That does nothing for me. And Chew on This might not do anything for you out there, but we'll keep chewing and be back next week with more talk about sports.